All right, let's start with Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Good afternoon, Coach. Glad to see you're fired up. I had a question that is just pretty simple. The major difference with your offense this year is the new running back in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So what to this point tells you he's ready for the lights?
You know what? We put him through a lot of different tests this training camp. He's had an opportunity to get out there, work with the ones. Obviously, our training camps are tough. We want to make it tough just because of the way we practice. We practice with a high volume of reps. We practice at game speed. And on top of that, it's okay if he makes a mistake. The thing that we want to do is see how he handles those mistakes. Now, everything that we do in practice obviously cannot simulate a game as far as game speed and all the collisions that will be made. But one thing that we do know, the kid has mentally and physically prepared himself for this point, but he does understand that, hey, when those lights turn on, it's time to go, and he'll be ready to go.
Let's go to Mick Schaefer. Go ahead, Mick.
Yeah, Coach, along those same lines, I was wondering, as a former running back, how much you can relate to maybe what he's going to be going through Thursday, and if you could imagine your debut coming in an NFL opener without any preseason games with, on a defending Super Bowl champs.
You know what? Obviously, we're living in a different day and age, and I had an opportunity to have 6 weeks of training camp, and the Stone Age days when you went 2 days every single day. But I will say this, the kid has worked his tail off. He helped LSU. He helped his team to win a national championship. He had to grind and claw to get to that spotlight, to that position, to help him to be the number one back in that particular team. So he understands what competition is. He understands what it takes to play underneath the big lights. Now he just got to make sure that he's ready to transfer it over once we kick off on Thursday. The biggest thing that, like I've told him, and I know the hardest thing will probably be that first drive because his emotions are going to be high. He's going to be hyperventilating, and he's just going to be so excited about being out there. But once he gets tackled the first time, you know what? It's all football. He's lining up between the hashes. He's doing what he does best, and that's why we drafted him.
Let's go to Michelle Steele. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hey, Coach. Good morning. You've worked with Pat for a while now. Are there ways that he continues to surprise you as a quarterback? What have you learned about him this year?
Oh, good morning, Miss Michelle. Good afternoon, I should say. You know what? Every day you learn something new about Pat. And just the way he comes to work, how he handles and conducts himself in meetings. He's always very, very critical of himself, and he's always looking for an answer. So those are the things that you love about him because he's competitive. He always wants to be right. There is no, if he was wrong, he's not shy about admitting or saying, hey, you know what? I screwed that up. I got to give a better pass, or I didn't call this particular play the right way. So one thing that I do love about him is his humility. One thing that I do love about him is his competitive fight about him. And every day, just being in that room and watching his personality grow, not only with this offense, but also with his peers, has been something that has been very, very motivational, not just for me, but everyone that surrounds him as well.
Let's go to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, good morning. Or actually, good afternoon, as you pointed out earlier. It seems like we're about ready to end around 100 between J.J. Watt and Mitchell Schwartz. And as a guy who appreciates the competition level of football itself, what's that like for you on the sidelines watching two perennial All-Pros go head-to-head?
You know what? It's first of all, we're blessed and fortunate to have this opportunity to watch him play because Schwartz has been doing this for a long time. JJ has been doing this for a number of years, and just watching those two play, and the sad part is that on the offensive side of it all, Mitch doesn't get all the limelight such as JJ. But the thing that I love about Mitch, he brings his hard hat and his lunch pail to work every single day, and he's going to go about his business. Now, when it comes to taking on JJ, he's just going to be the same consistent professional player that he is. He understands how JJ plays. He's going to be consistent with his pass sets. Hey, you know what? Sometimes he might get JJ and sometimes JJ might get him, but that's not going to stop him from being the very best of who he can be.
Let's go to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Edie, how you doing?
What's going on, Steve?
Not much. Texans coach Bill O'Brien said while speaking to the Houston media that his team still has a long way to go as far as getting prepared to play on Thursday. I'm just wondering how much you believe in what he said, and I'm curious if you could give a percentage of how close you guys are to being ready for Thursday.
Well, I know what Coach O'Brien said, okay? And I'll say this. Just being on the team that lost in the playoff game to a team from the previous year, they're going to be fired up. So regardless of what he says, I know that team is going to be fired up and excited about coming in here on a Thursday night, prepared to come in and put it on us. The thing that we just got to do is make sure that our intensity, also that we're mentally and physically prepared to go out and do the things that we prepared ourselves to do. So regardless, all the coaching speak don't mean anything. When that whistle kicks off, you know what I mean? It's time to go to work. Yeah, everybody wants OTAs. Everybody wanted all the extra time to prepare to get to this point. But you know what? We're a couple of days away. Doesn't matter. Those guys are going to be ready to play regardless.
Got time for a couple more guys. We're going to go Adam Teicher and then Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Eric, how you doing today?
What's going on, Adam?
And by the way, we've heard that word you said right at the start. We've heard you say that a few times on the practice field, so don't feel bad.
Adam, you ruined my reputation.
It's already there. A lot of people know about it. You talked about Clyde maybe on the first drive. Certainly you remember the first time you gave the ball to Kareem Hunt when he was a rookie.
Yes.
So because of that, do you say anything special to Clyde?
You know what?
You guys go on the field that first time?
So here's the thing. As a former running back and as a former running back coach, you address the issues of turnovers. We've hit that with our guys since we started preparing for this team. And one thing that we do know in the league, the first game is always the highest number of fumbles or turnovers in the game. So the thing that we focus on is making sure the guys understand, hey, ball security is the utmost importance. We do know if we protect the football, our chances of winning increases higher. You know, there's a number of drills that we can do, but also too, just making sure that guys are focused in on just protecting the ball and guys are running to the ball, because sometimes things happen and guys got to put themselves in position to make sure they're being accountable and being there in the right place at the right time. But you never, all right, go and talk to a guy and say, hey, you know, on Kareem's first carry, he fumbled the ball. Well, no, that's not the deal. As a running back coach or a former running back coach, and Coach Dealin has addressed this with him, hey, two hands on it in traffic, high and tight in the open field, on the way down, make sure you're securing it and going down to the ground. At the end of the day, you want to make sure you're handing the ball back to the ref.
Let's go to Nate Taylor to close us out. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Eric, I'm interested to hear how eager you are to see Clyde as a receiver, right? Based on what he did at LSU last year and the simple fact that you guys don't have preseason games where there's tape of him catching the ball in your offense. Just how eager are you to see that element of his game on Thursday?
You know what I'm looking for? Here's the thing. I'm looking forward to watching the kid play. And there's a number of things that he put on tape in college. We all know how tremendous of a runner he is. He has great instincts between the tackles as a runner. He has great feet in traffic. He wasn't as good as he would have liked to have been in protection, but he's worked his tail off with Coach Dealin. And also he's done a heck of a job of working with Pat in the O-line and making sure he understands all the protection calls so he can do the right things when called upon. But also, too, he's done a heck of a job out of the backfield for us this entire camp of catching the football. He's a football player that happens to play the running back position, and we're satisfied with all the progress that he has made so far. And the thing that we just want him to do is just focus on being the best of who he can be. Don't need anything more of him. I just need him to go out there and focus one play at a time and understand that, hey, when that play comes and you have an opportunity to be great, just make sure you have mentally and physically prepared yourself this week for that defining moment on game day.
Coach EB, we really appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys take care.